It's a highly addictive drug with lows that far outweighs its highs. Cheap and easy to make, the number of people using the drug known as ice in Australia is reaching pandemic proportions. It's a major problem that is challenging police in Victoria and an example of what the Police Association says is an urgent priority for whoever takes the reign of the state government in November. Detective Senior Sergeant Ron Iddles, the Secretary of the Police Association, says that despite an increase in police members recently, more frontline staff are needed to keep on top of the ice epidemic.
But sadly, of those 1,700, we know that only around a third have actually hit the street. The majority have been absorbed in task forces, and we're not against task forces, but when your mother or your brother or your sister's on the street being seriously assaulted by some ice addict, it won't be the man in the task force who responds, it's the man in the divisional van.
However, Police Chief Commissioner Ken Lay has a different view and says that providing more specialty staff will help reduce the strain on frontline officers.
I think the solution into the future is, rather than saying to Victoria Police, here is a certain number of sworn police numbers, blue shirts to resolve crime, the model needs to change. We need the forensic accountants, we need the CSI types, we need the analysts to actually help us get smarter and better at addressing those really critical issues, whilst not losing sight of the fact that our people at police stations are doing a very difficult job, but if we can reduce the pressure at the other levels, we can make their job easier.
In this year's state budget, the Napthine government announced that they are completing Victoria's largest recruitment of police members in Victoria Police's history, with 1,700 additional police officers and 940 protective service officers. On top of that, $33 million will be invested into upgrading old police stations and building new ones. Detective Senior Sergeant Ron Iddles says that Victoria's population is set to grow by 8% over the next 4 years and will require an extra 1,880 police officers, costing the state around $700 million. If elected in this year's state election, the Labor Party promises to invest more in police and protective service officers, reverse the drain on police resources being diverted to the corrections system, work with Victoria Police Command to respond quickly to crime hotspots and significant trends in crime such as ice. They also plan to address the effect of the coalition government's cuts to Victoria Police and the loss of hundreds of jobs, and respond to the fact that too much police time is being taken away from frontline duties. The Police Association are not supporting either party this election, but they'll be hoping that the voters will support the party that supports them.
Well, as a police association or a police union, we're apolitical. We don't prefer any party. But if a party comes out and says, I'll give you 1,500, another party comes out and says, we'll give you 1,700, then it's a matter for the community to look at the law and order policy and vote accordingly.
And it's the taxpayers who are most affected by these planned changes and have differing opinions on the issue.
A police presence obviously is a good thing in terms of making people feel safer. But, it's like the buses. When you want one, there isn't one, and when next thing, the three come at once.
Yeah, I think there are too many.
I don't know, recruit more police, I suppose.
The public will decide in November which party they want moving the state forward over the next 4 years. Both parties have plans for the police force and its frontline members to improve the safety and well-being of society, but it will cost millions and may not be adequate for the force's needs. Adam Spencer for Unipol Watch.